We're back. It's another Chicago White Sox loss. We'll talk about it here on the CHGO White Sox postgame show. CHGO White Sox post-game show presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, whether it's baseball, basketball, Masters. Bet365 has you covered, both in Illinois and very clearly in Ohio, as you could see the advertisements behind home plate throughout the past 3 games at Progressive Field. I'm Sean Anderson, your CHGO White Sox host. We are coming to you live from Studio B of our CHGO offices. I'm being produced today by Joey Christopoulos.
Ayo.
What up? Sox lose 6-1. Womp, womp, womp. What's the funniest sound effect we have, Joey? Why don't we just play a funny, give us, do we have any horns? Yeah, what's that? Confused?
What is it? You can put it, safe, you can put it on the board or what?
Or what?
And we find another way.
That's what we should have played. We find another way. Last night was definitely unique for the Chicago White Sox. This one was just more depressing. Sox lose 6-1. We'll talk about today's loss. We'll talk about yesterday's embarrassing/painful loss. We will also talk about some things bright because we have to. Christian Oppor is a name you should get yourself hip to. We'll talk about Christian Oppor's first start in Kannapolis. And we'll also talk about Omar Narvaez coming back to the Chicago White Sox. We have found some of the longest stretches in between White Sox at-bats for you, the Chicago White Sox fan. We are getting close to 80,000 subscribers on our CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Do us a favor, hit that thumbs up button, and make sure you're subscribing to the CHGO Sports channel. Whatever the CHGO or Chicago sports moment, we have you covered. We got a Blackhawks pre- and post-game tonight. There's a Cubs show coming up later on, but we also had Bulls post-game last night. So, we got Bears draft coverage and a draft party happening in Mount Greenwood, right next to where I used to work, and bag groceries at Jewel. I know I'm not going to the draft show because it's traumatizing. Anyways, Sox Jack from Lyle says, am I taking out the paper bag out of the closet already for this game tomorrow? If you want. I know Sox Jack is very, very upset. We met him, I think, last year at Sox Park. He sits kind of, Sox bullpen area. He's been helpful on some tips. He also was, I think, one of the people that was asked to change their shirt for wearing a shirt that was sell the team adjacent. But I don't know if you should be taking out the paper bag. But also, the White Sox have lost 8 straight. The Sox, now since 2024, have had 5 7+ game losing streaks. And on top of that, they have had 15 4+ game losing streaks. So a series where you're getting swept like you are against the Guardians and some. It's numbing. I don't even know if numbing does it. I compared it yesterday to breathing. It's involuntary. It's what the White Sox do. The White Sox can, 75% of the time since about August of 2023, lose a baseball game. They don't really miss their opportunities. If they're going to go out there and hit the diamond, they're going to do their darndest to lose that effing game. And I mean that as respectfully to the baseball players in that dugout, to Will Venable. I do think that this year, in the first 10 games, that this is more trying in any other 10-game stretch of 2024. The issue is they're so damn bad. I told you about the grades that they're getting of the decisions of swinging inside the zone. Their decisions at swinging at balls is good. They're above average on swinging at balls in the zone and not swinging at balls outside of the zone. The issue is they're 20th in power. They're not even 20th in power. They're 20th in contact. They're 24th in power. Their 2 wins have come in the 2 games where they've out-homered the opponent. That's convenient. That makes sense. Oh, when we finally get the bats to show up, we can win a baseball game. But this is as dreadful as it was last year. And with the injury to Corey Lee, with the injury to Mike Tauchman, with the injury to Andrew Benintendi, and now Luis Robert Jr. sitting after the first 9 games and starting in the first 9 games, this might have been the worst lineup yet. Matt Tice was your cleanup hitter. Nick Maton is the only breath of fresh air on this team. The only hitter with over a 700 OPS, and he's your leadoff guy. It's dreadful. I don't think it's ever been this dreadful offensively. You add the cold on top of that, you're going to get 8 straight losses. I feel bad for Will Venable. I think that's about the biggest thing that I can take away. I'm not surprised that they've lost 8 straight, but I feel bad for Will Venable because there's no way that this could be fun for the first-time manager, and there's no way that this is on his shoulders. I mean, they just lost 121 games. The last person that you can blame or put onus on is Will Venable because this team just sucks.
No matter the expectation, when you walk into a season, hope springs eternal. And you're always thinking maybe there's a possibility that things are going to go a little bit differently than they did the previous season, especially when you're a White Sox fan right now. And we had our fun those first couple days of the season, but now what? We're 10, 12 games in, and we are right back where we were last year. And that's the bummer. We were hoping maybe they would play some competitive baseball. They trade off some guys. They trim down the roster, and then things get ugly again later in the summer as they play new kids. But here we are.
Yeah, but also, like, their first loss, 1-0. They're competitive. It's a 1-run loss. Their second loss, 3-2. It's a 1-run game. It's barely a loss. They have a Detroit loss, 4-3. The first loss of this Cleveland game, 1-0. Yesterday, 3-2. That's what, 5 of their 10 losses, half of their losses are 1-run games. Like, it's they are being competitive. They just need to be absolutely perfect every single game to win. They did, I think, everything right in yesterday's game. The only thing that went wrong for them was Mike Tauchman's 34-year-old hamstring giving out 70 feet down the third baseline. What can they do? Mike Tauchman before that was a great signing. I really like the Mike Tauchman signing. He took 26 at-bats in his White Sox debut. That's a guy who can go out there and, work a pitcher. I'm thrilled with that. What else could they do yesterday? They did everything where, the 2025 White Sox could do. They almost won a baseball game. I got to give them credit.
Yeah, and Sean, roll it back just really quick because you had an off day yesterday. You agree with them sending Tauchman. We were talking about this during the game today. I want to hear your opinion on that too as well, that was the right decision in that moment and just an unfortunate injury from the Palatine pounder.
Let's work backwards. As you mentioned, the White Sox lose in pretty just horrendous, gut-wrenching, make you want to throw up fashion. Sox load the bases in the 9th inning against who else, easy work, Emmanuel Clase. This guy's not good, right? They load the bases. Jacob Amaya gets a hit, of all people. And I think it was first and second. I forget if it was Taylor on first base. But it's first and second. Amaya is one of the guys on first base. And leadoff hitter, first time this year, leadoff hitter, Luis Robert comes up. He's 0 for 4 on the day. He's been awful the entire day. I think he was 0 for 3, and he saw 3 pitches to lead off. Not good, Bob. He comes up, and what does he do? He strikes out. Has an unproductive at-bat again. So that's just a terrible way to start off the 9th inning. The guy that gives you or should give you hope on this team has just been absolutely terrible. Robert, 154 on the year, 244 on base, 179 slugging, no home runs. He does have 3 stolen bases. He's also been caught twice stealing. He's got 5 walks. He's also got 13 Ks. His OPS plus, it's a 27. Ugh. The only thing that sticks out, like why he's been so abnormally bad, his swinging strike percentage is high. His career high was 18.3%. Right now, it's 18.1%. So he's whiffing. He's swinging and missing a lot when he swings the ball. He's just not making contact at all. And then the other thing that sticks out, 7%, 7.4% higher. His first strike percentage is 77.8 right now. His career high was 70.9. So just guys are getting to an 0-1 count pretty much 80% of the time against Luis Robert Jr. He's just getting worked. I mean, guys know how to get a first strike on him. It's either a fastball high and in, or it's a slider low and away. And I feel like you kind of ask yourself, well, isn't that every major league hitter? But Luis Robert Jr. cannot lay off on that slider. Again, it's me putting down the controller for MLB The Show. The only way I'm not swinging at the first pitch is for me to put the controller down, walk to the other room, and wait that other 5 seconds because I want to get back there. And if I see the guy is just starting his windup, I'll run to the controller and go swing. Luis Robert Jr. and I have the same problem. The issue is he makes $88 million and I'm on my couch. Anyways, Vaughn, I believe, then walks. Bases are loaded. And up comes Joey's guy, my guy, your guy, Miguel Vargas. Oh, and obviously, Tauchman. So Jacob Maya gets on. Tauchman was batting ninth because it was a lefty. So they had Tauchman, their best hitter, batting ninth against the lefty because, he's bad against lefties, but he's good enough to be in the lineup. Anyways, Tauchman's on second base. This is the important part. Vargas hits the ball into left field in between the shortstop and third baseman. It's hit nicely. It gets to the left fielder kind of in a decent pace. Like, it wasn't like a ball that hit one bounce, kind of like the Nolan Jones one bounce right to the left fielder. Like, this ball hit probably the edge of the grass and then rolled to the left fielder. Amaya scores easily, makes it 3-2. And Tauchman, I think, is pretty much rounding third before the left fielder even picks up the ball. So I'm not against sending him. I wasn't watching the game. I had a day off. I was doing chores. And you know what the last thing I was going to do was put myself to watch a White Sox baseball game. But I get a text, Sox threatening in the ninth. Oh, okay. I pull up the Len Casper call, and he describes it as, it's a good send, but as Tauchman's rounding third, he blows a tire, and he kind of limps home, basically. And he doesn't even get all the way to home. He's probably about 15 feet away before he's tagged by the catcher fairly pathetically.
It was not a bang-bang play at home plate.
It wasn't a bang-bang play, but the guy's also injured. So fully healthy Mike Tauchman, I think it's a bang-bang play. I think he's probably out, but I don't think that you can look at Justin Jerschley and say, what are you doing, man? Because we did on Tuesday's game, where they didn't send Luis Robert Jr. after being aggressive, having him steal the base. It's a ball that, yes, maybe it's caught by Nolan Jones, but even if you realize it's caught and you're already halfway to third base, like, Jones has to make a pretty good play there, backing up to even get you out at second. I think it's worth it to be aggressive and send him. They hold Robert and they end up losing by 1 run. That could have been the run that ends up tying the game. So I don't hate them being aggressive. It's the ninth inning. You got what you wanted. A ball in the infield or the ball in the outfield. You got to hope that Cleveland makes the play. Or, if you're a Cleveland fan, you got to hope that Cleveland makes a play. If not, that's a tie game. And for a team that is this bad, a team that's lost 6 straight, then it became 7 straight, and now it's now 8 straight, you need to send that runner. I do not hate that send. Maybe they have better knowledge of what Tauchman was going through, but I don't think there was a guy that was available on the bench to pinch hit for him.
I saw some of that. I saw some of that hindsight on social media of like, why are you sending a guy who's just coming off the injured list with the right hamstring? If you're healthy enough to play, you got to be healthy enough to score from second to home, right? And as you mentioned, but if you're doing it on the margins, you're trying to score, get some offense together, you're trying to tie the game. That's a send 100% of the time, unless it's like Daniel Palco.
Yeah, I'm not blaming the send at all. I don't think it's a bad send, and if you want to get on Tauchman, get on Tauchman. I think the issue is to, like, let's have some context. Like, yeah, Patrice Bergeron played with a broken rib in the Stanley Cup Finals. Okay, you're a hardo. The issue is that Benintendi that day goes to the IL. They were wondering if can he not play. They put him on the IL before, and I don't know if Greg Jones was ready to even jump in. I think that would have been the potential pinch runner. Maybe they should have went to Greg Jones. They used, I believe, Maton and Baldwin already off the bench. They had to use Tice to fill in for Lee, who got injured. So there really wasn't a pitch runner. I think that's just the reason why Tauchman's out there. I think, end of the day, who do you blame? You blame the offense for being in a situation where you only have 2 runs or 1 run going into the 9th inning, and you blame Tauchman. It's unfortunate that you get injured, but, I mean, Jershly made the right send. Vargas hit the ball in the outfield. He didn't make it home. It's not like his fault that he got injured. Injuries happen, but that's the White Sox way to lose. Like, you can't even, you've seen how many losses? Well, 131 losses in the past 2 years. I have not seen a loss that way. When you lose uniquely, when you lose in a way that's unfathomable, that is the White Sox way. Anyways, let's take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast presented by Bet365. We want to let you know about our friends over at Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. They are now live in Illinois. Go sign up. Use code CHGO365 when you deposit $10 and you make your first bet of $5. Whether that $5 bet wins or loses, you get $150 in bonus bets. Those bonus bets can be used to bet on the golf tournament that's going on. I don't know if I have the legal rights to say the M word. The M tournament. But you can win a nice green jacket maybe, or you can go buy yourself a nice green jacket with all your bonus bet winnings from Bet365. Maybe it's just the Irishman in me. And I know he's a Northern Irishman, but that's not his fault. That's English wanting the English channel, and that's, a whole different podcast. I think Rory's got it. I think he was tied for the 5th last time I checked it. I know it's like a homer pick. You're not getting good odds on it. It's like probably plus 500 at this point with the live odds. Scheffler's above him. But man, I really like Rory this week. I love an Irishman. If you have a hunch, you can go put your money down over at Bet365. Breaking news from Bet365. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code CHGO365, deposit 10, place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER in-app only. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Empire. Let's grab Lynn Haldren.
Bring him in.
588-2300 Empire today. Just like your favorite team needs a home court, field, ice advantage, your home needs a home floor advantage, and Empire can help you get it. Go contact the flooring experts over at Empire today, because if you try to do it yourself, if you try to go to a big box store and you talk to their experts, you're talking to somebody that was in flooring probably today, but they were probably in paint the day before. They were probably on register the day before that. Are you talking to a real expert? You're probably going to ask your cousin to put it in if you're going to the big box store. Empire, you're talking to the people that know the selections, know how to install, and will be with you every step of the way. And it's your home, people. They're taking care of your home. Remember Happy Gilmore? Are you too good for your home? Come on, get into your home. Use the experts over at Empire. Treat yourself right. Treat your home right. The experts over at Empire, you can schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are better at home. CHGO listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code CHGO. You heard right. A $350 off discount when you use code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/CHGO for full details. Joey is taking submissions / suggestions for a most likely way for
most White Sox way to lose a White Sox game scavenger hunt. As you mentioned,
scavenger hunt or a bingo card?
Or bingo card. Well, we could do a bingo card. It could be an all season long, but you said this is one of the more unlikely ways that you did not see coming for them to lose a game.
Yeah.
So are there more that we could perhaps track throughout the season?
As in White Sox losing on runner interference last year, the way that they lost that Baltimore game against Baltimore. That's who they play.
Ooh, Sox Jack from Lyle says triple play, including runner interference.
Yeah, that's I think of what I'm thinking of. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it's or at least the runner interference against Gunnar Henderson and Andrew Vaughn last year.
Martin Maldonado walk off.
What, the Padres coming back? I mean, that would be unique. The ways to lose: Travis Jankowski robbing Andrew Vaughn. Poor Andrew Vaughn with this terrible luck. That was another way to just blow right into the chest. Yeah, it's It's disgusting. Anyways, let's talk about today's game because today was just not even disgusting. It's just what usually happens for the Chicago White Sox. Also, if you have any thoughts in the chat, let us know. Joey's monitoring the chat. He will star them. Kevin says, hello, fellow masochist. Hello, Kevin. The White Sox lose, again, 6-1 today. They've lost 8 straight. They are 2-10 on the season. The Red Sox are coming to town. I believe Antonio asked earlier if the White Sox will be seeing Garrett Crochet. We think it will be Sunday. Jared Willis will be at the ballpark whenever Crochet makes that start. We are hoping it's Sunday because that's when I have a post-game show. If it's Saturday, I might have to come into work. It's on Sunday, though. Everything's going to be nice. Sox lose today 6-1. Jonathan Cannon was bad. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 7 hits allowed, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, 102 pitches for Jonathan Cannon, 22 called strike plus whiff percentage. That's 11 whiffs and 11 called strikes on 102 pitches. And the only thing that stuck out with Cannon was his changeup was like decent against 6 strikeouts and 5 1/3 innings. Like that's great. But Steven Kwan just owned him up and down. Kwan was on base in the first inning. He had a single. He went, I think, 4 for 5 today. He ends up getting on, and then Manzardo takes Cannon deep. That made it a 2-1 game in the bottom of the first. And then Kwan, in his second at-bat, he hits a home run off of Cannon, just another shot right into the heart. Oh, no, sorry, top of the fourth, Kwan hit an RBI single to make it 5-1. And then at some point, he hits a homer. Oh, no, that was the third inning. I'm so sorry. Bottom of the third. My notes are all messed up. Bottom of the third, Kwan hits the home run to make it 4-5 or 4-1. And then he has an RBI in the fourth inning to make it 5-1. And then in the, what was it, the sixth inning, Joey, was that? Yeah. A sixth inning after Jonathan Cannon is taken out. Cannon walked Rocchio, and he's taken out at 101 pitches. Bryce Wilson comes in versus Kwan. Kwan's 3 for 3. He has 2 singles, 3 RBIs already, and he has a runner on third and a runner on first. And he lays down a bunt that Bryce Wilson picks up. Rocchio clearly or easily scores from first base, and Bryce Wilson is just left staring at Kwan running down first base and doesn't even throw over. There you go. Sergio Sanchez saying he pitched yesterday. Crochet won't pitch. Joey, can you find out when he'll pitch? Because right now on ESPN it just says Newcomb will pitch on Friday for Boston. Fitz will pitch on Saturday for Boston, and then Sunday Crochet will pitch. So yeah, my stuff could be off. Everything that I'm hearing is that he should start on Sunday.
ESPN, Shane Smith, Garrett Crochet, get your tickets now on Sunday.
Right, but no, like, can you? All right, he pitched today, so yeah, he would. He likely won't pitch if he's pitching today. He's likely not going to pitch on Sunday. He'll next pitch on Monday. So we might not see Crochet. But then I think they got a 4-game series coming up on Friday, the 18th through the 21st, and I think Crochet should start either that Sunday game or that Monday game, which is Patriot Day, a Massachusetts holiday. So
just really quick, we got Walker Buehler on the mound today for the Boston Red Sox. Garrett Crochet is still slated to pitch on Sunday.
Okay. So yeah, Crochet pitched last on Tuesday. So yeah, he pitched on Tuesday. So we should see him on Sunday. We'll see. I don't know. Everything that I saw, he should pitch on Sunday. Have I said that he should pitch on Sunday enough, Joey?
I think he's gonna pitch on Sunday.
Joey, I think he's gonna pitch on Sunday. Anyways, Cannon was terrible today, and I don't know. Like, it's just whenever you see that them getting down 2-1 in the first inning, you just know that they're not going to be able to work themselves back. And the biggest thing that has been a blow, and I can't believe I'm saying it, is Benintendi's injury. The guy that brings power to this team, the guy that leads the team in home runs with Nick Maton, is Andrew Benintendi with 2. He's the guy that has most of the power right now. Robert has had 1 extra base hit. Robert's not bringing that. Vaughn is hitting the ball hard, but weirdly enough, every single time at an outfielder. So that kind of just, sucks. I don't think his luck is going to change though. I think he just kind of stinks. It's just, there's no one here. This lineup was absolutely brutal today. Matt Tice was your cleanup hitter. Nick Maton's your leadoff hitter. Like, if this team goes up against Garrett Crochet with no Andrew Benintendi, I mean, I don't even think Robert's going to be able to give him a good at bat. Like, Crochet's going to strike out 13. this is going to be very equivalent to Luka Doncic returning to Dallas. I don't know if it's going to be the same video package and Garrett Crochet is going to be crying. Garrett Crochet seems more like the Terminator. I would hate to see that guy as the T-1000 lighting up his red eyes and me having to hold this like wood piece.
Can you see him with the red scanning of the White Sox lineup and saying, affirmative, this will go well.
Destroy.
I was going to be very sarcastic and say that, maybe they can get some foul balls against Crochet, get that pitch count up, and maybe he won't strike out 13 against them. But
I mean, they could barely hit Gavin Williams' 97. This guy throws 101. He's going to absolutely work this lineup on Sunday or whatever happens. Did I say hot start? Oh, yeah. Jim saying there's a hot start. Literally, they scored on a wild pitch. Matt Tice walks. The ball was bounced. It got past the catcher, and Maton thankfully was aware enough to score. Like, the White Sox easily could have been shut out again. Woohoo. I think Crochet is absolutely just going to dominate them come Sunday. It's going to be embarrassing. Jim Cook's going to throw away money over at Bet365. I know Bet365 appreciates it. He thinks Luis Robert Jr. will hit a home run on Sunday and will be betting the White Sox money line. Jim, if you just want to send the money to me, I mean, obviously I know that, Bet365 would appreciate the money and they are our advertisements, but you could also just send the money to me. And that way I could just bet the money on Garrett Crochet striking out 13 and, we can enjoy the riches together. Anyways, Rob Gearman is saying, #sell the team. I got to be honest. Joey, you got to check me on here because we got about 4 minutes. It's kind of lost its muster. Because now you see the Mariners, and the Mariners even have fans that say, like, go M's, and then they put them on the Jumbotron, and once they're on the Jumbotron, they flip around, and the shirt says, sell the team. And then you look at Oakland, and there's nobody even there to say, sell the team. But, I mean, you even have Cubs fans saying, sell the team when they're, like, winning baseball games. Every team at this point, if you're not winning, you're going to have someone say, sell the team. It seems like he's about to sell the team. Like, Justin Ishbia is in the building. He owns a lot more percentage than he did in 2021. He's abandoned his pursuit of the Minnesota Twins. They will sell the team. I'm sorry it's not today, but like the process of them selling the team is literally happening. Like the White Sox are as close to the finish line as any other team right now. This seems very similar to the Boston Celtics, which I think were up for sale for about 2 years. Like they have a seller already or a buyer already. The issue is the guy won't sell it, but like, I don't know. You're just you're playing the clock against a 90-year-old's lifespan. Respectfully, that's literally what's I think is waiting for happening.
I think we need to bring this into the lab, right? I mean, we need to workshop this a little bit and try and get it more original as White Sox fans. I mean, sell the team also doesn't necessarily mean that the team automatically is going to get better. What about improve the team? Is that a chant that we can maybe try it out there? Make the team better, because you're right, man. I think the A's are the OGs of that. Now the Mariners are doing it, and it's starting to get a little cliche.
And I get it for Mariners fans too. I mean, they have a crazy rotation that their team will not spend on. Like it's totally fine that people want to use their voices. I'm not against that, but also it's just like, especially for this team, it's just like I think most White Sox fans wish they could bring tomatoes into Rate Field and chuck it at Reinsdorf's booth at this point. Like, I get it. I don't know what else to say, though. Like, this team is 12 games into the season. They're on an 8-game losing streak already. You know where this is going. You saw last year. You're an informed viewer. Like, they tried to be #be less bad. And everyone got hurt. They had like 7 guys in spring training have Tommy John. Benintendi's hurt. Corey Lee's ankle folded on him. Omar Narvaez is back after 2,000 days. Like, the worst team that spent no money this year has all of their guys getting injured. And the one guy that has talent on the team sucks. Like this is a nightmare. It's just unfolding. I tried to have baseball hell t-shirts made. If you want a shirt that says baseball hell in black and white, let us know. And we'll tell Eric. And if we have fan support, we might be able to get it. And I'm not trying to be like, but like, I wish I could be positive. I have Christian Opor stats to tell you about. I'm going to be positive about Omar Narvaez's return. I'll tell you about a White Sox you don't even know about. I'm just, it
cinch it up and strap it down. We're in hell. Coming up next.
Amen. I mean, it just sucks if you're a White Sox fan. And I feel for you because I'm a White Sox fan. This is not what anyone wanted. And again, after 2021, it's just been not even like a roller coaster. It's a cliff. Thinking back to when I went to Ireland, you ever know the Cliffs of Moher? Just like taking a dive off of that, a headfirst dive right into the rocky shore side of the Cliffs of Moher. Disgusting. Anyways, let's take a break. We need some help. We want to let you know about our friends over at Sunnyside. They are my favorite dispensary, and they are Illinois' favorite dispensary. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. It's a place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. Sunnyside has everything you need to elevate your summer. It's a one-stop shop for all your cannabis needs. Sunnyside has an expertly curated menu with over 100 strains to choose from, plus easy online ordering and in-store pickup. They are Illinois' favorite dispensary with locations in the city like Wrigleyville and River North, with the suburb locations in Champaign and South Beloit. We also have locations over in Elwood Park. Everyone say bye, Carm. Carm's leaving. Bye, Carm. Bye. We love Carm. But if you're a pro, they have you covered with over 100 strains on the menu and new ones added daily. They're expertly curated, and they also have wellness advisor staff picks that you can choose. So if you want something that is good for the health, the wellness of you, you can have their staff help you out. Visit Sunnyside.shop for Bright Buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Enter promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, Bright Buys every day, only for 21 plus or Illinois medical card holders. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Ray Chevy. If you need a car, head over to Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake. They are doing some spring cleaning over at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake. Come in and get fresh savings during our spring clearance sales event, like 0% financing for 60 months, $0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, plus 0 hidden fees on select new Chevy models. Or you could check out their selection of over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories, you'll be sure to find the perfect vehicle for you. And as one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, they're always able to keep their prices competitive, so you know you'll get a great deal. Go see for yourself. Visit our partner at their convenient location on Route 12 in Fox Lake, and don't miss out on their spring clearance sales event going on all month long for 0% financing on select new Chevy models. Shop Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive. Joey, what I miss in the chat during the break?
Just a little bit of ouch, another losing streak from Randy Parker jumping back in the chat. Welcome back, Randy. Another losing streak. Again, this is sad and embarrassing. He goes on to say, we need to break a losing streak. Pray for our team. And then I like this one from Leonard Gore here. This was a little bit earlier. Shout out to Sean here right now. Just a little life advice.
Yep. Hi, Sean. Got a bleach martini in hand. Please convince me not to drink it. Christian Opor is not a player that was on my top 30 White Sox prospects list. I was not hip to Christian Opor. You may not be hip to Christian Opor. Let's learn. 6'2", 175 pounds. He throws left and he hits left. And the only reason why I'm mentioning he hits left is because in high school, he was also the second highest graded outfielder in the state of Wisconsin. So, like, just let you know, pretty good athlete. Was
got
able
that
to go,
going for him.
Pitcher and outfielder in high school. In high school, he was a Wisconsin kid. He was the 11th round pick in 2022 by the A's. He was a prep player at that point in high school. He decided, no, not going to do that. Not going to sign in 2022. He went to a JUCO school, and in 2023 was back in Major League Baseball. Back in the Major League Baseball draft, he was selected in the 5th round by your Chicago White Sox, and it's been uphill since. He's played some rookie ball in 2023, in 2024, and then yesterday he finally made his first A-ball start at Kannapolis. He's 20 years old, and his first start is insane. There's about a 2-year age difference between him and the rest of A-ball at Kannapolis. 4 2/3 innings pitched, no hits, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts. And just wait, 50 strikes for Opor. 19 of them were called, 14 of them were swinging. So 33 of his 50 strikes were either looked at or just completely whiffed at. I don't know what 50 minus 33 is. It's 17, if I'm doing my math correct. So, like, that's 17 foul-offs, pretty much. Usually the rate of that is much higher, or foul tips or something of the sort. It is absurd that he had a 66 called strike plus winning percentage, or a called strike plus whiff percentage. Absolutely insane. James Fox mentioned that he'll likely be on the top 30 for future Sox. I did not have him on my top 30. I was not hip to Christian Opor, and man, that is a crazy stat line. And the one thing that I will be able to bask in is that it's still probably about like 2 years, and so you actually have to start caring about Opor. He still has to get to Birmingham. He still has to get to Charlotte. Like, the fact that he's just making his debut out of nowhere like this, it's very interesting. Again, Wisconsin kid, was somewhat highly ranked in Wisconsin, but yeah, JUCO pick in the 5th round by the White Sox in 2023, and he's a lefty that throws about 95, and the stuff looks really good. I don't know if it's going to be consistent, but it was an absolute dominant start. All right, so again, Sox have lost 8 straight. They have now had 15 4+ game losing streaks, and they have had 5 7+ game losing streaks since 2024. Real fun to be a White Sox fan. Some people are upset that Omar Narvaez has been called up because of the Mike Tauchman and Corey Lee injuries. People were wondering, hey, could Edgar Caro be called up? Could Kyle Teal be called up? Why is Josh Palacios and Omar Narvaez the people that are being called up for your Chicago White Sox? Even Greg Jones, who was called up the day before for Andrew Benintendi. Jones was on the 40-man, so I think that was part of it. The only 2 batters that were on the 40-man before yesterday were Greg Jones and Colson Montgomery. So it's either you're calling up Colson Montgomery or you're calling up Greg Jones. That's why Greg Jones was called up. Apparently Benintendi needs the 7 days and the 10 days on the IL, so he should be back next week. So it should be a very brief stint for Greg Jones or maybe Palacios, whoever they decide. But people were wondering, why no Teal? DMK17, do you think Edgar Caro could ever switch to first base if Kyle Teal is the future catcher? Again, what we've talked about, Teal could play first base, Caro could play first base, while the other one catches. One could DH and the other one can catch. I think that you could see about 75 to 80 games started split between them. Like, you could just see an 81 games caught split between Caro and Teal, and the other days, one of the two are either at first base or at DH, or maybe even Teal. Tud says, Teal could play right field. I don't know if they want their catcher out in right field. I think even if they were going to put a catcher in the outfield, they'd probably put him more in left field just because it's less range, an easier throw to both third and home. So I think Teal would probably be a left fielder just to give him less work to do because he's uses his legs so much behind the plate. But I think it's likely going to be that Teal and Caro can be good enough hitters on their off days to be the White Sox DH. So I think you're just mostly going to see those guys either DH or have a first base glove for like 15 starts maybe.
I got a question for you. This is a little bit of a tangent, but it's definitely on the topic that you're talking about right now. Did you ever subscribe to the theory that the Chicago White Sox did Andrew Vaughn dirty by having him learn a new position just so you could squeeze his bat into the lineup? Did you ever buy into that? Because it plays a little bit into what we're talking about now of if Teal and Caro are both hitting, do you try and get them both into the lineup? We also have a DH position, by the way, but did you ever buy into that type of theory?
I mean, the biggest thing was it was like 150 games that he played in the minor leagues. It was an absurdly short time, but also now when you look at the amount or how quickly guys are being called up, like Nolan Shanuel, Cam Smith, doesn't even look that egregious for Andrew Vaughn. I thought it was a bigger thing back in 2021 and 2022, but then once he became the full-time first baseman, I'm not buying into it.
His numbers were better in the outfield than they have been at first base.
No, there's not. I mean, like I thought I bought into it, but I think the issue is that Carm confirmed he's 5'7". I know. I couldn't get Vinny to confirm that Andrew Vaughn was 5'7", and apparently it was insulting to ask the man what his real height is. But Carm said he sized him up and that he was 5'7". I mean, the issue is that he's 5'7" playing first base. Like he's not big enough to create power. He's not big enough to play that position. The issue is that he's too small. And, his numbers were great in college, but you need to have bigger levers in Major League Baseball, especially if you're trying to drive it to right center field. Like, you need to be 6 feet tall and 220. And Andrew Vaughn is like, what, 5'7", 210, 215? Like, he's just not big enough to play first base. He's not big enough to be a major league hitter, is what it seems like. So, woohoo. Anyways, I am very, very thrilled to talk about Omar Narvaez. I know people wanted Kyle Teal. I know people wanted Edgar Caro, but you're getting Omar Narvaez. And Omar Narvaez is back, baby. I'm going to tell you a list of names that had a longer stretch between at-bats as a White Sox, and you're going to see the history, the historic names that Omar Narvaez is in. You're eye-rolling at Omar Narvaez right now, and this man walks the halls with Leury Garcia, walks the halls with Dick Allen, walks the halls with Bill Melton, Ray Durham, Aaron Rowan, Ross Glode, Joe Borchard, right? This is a guy that deserves your respect, and you're complaining? Longest stretches between Sox at-bats. Obviously, if you know, you know. Minnie Minoso has two of the longest stretches on this list. He has one that is at the top of the list and at the end of the list. Minoso's longest stretch was from, I believe, 1964 to 1976. He was brought back as a 50-year-old after retiring as a 39-year-old. Minoso had a stretch of 4,452 days. It was mainly a promotional stint. Omar Narvaez is not drawing tickets. People are not lining up to see their favorite baseball player, Minnie Minoso, again. They're seeing Omar Narvaez. But Minoso still technically has the longest stretch between White Sox at-bats.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
That's what I learned.
Absolutely. Anything is possible. The one that I didn't know about, Bob Kennedy, a Chicago in his own right. He went to Morgan Park High School. He did not play from 1943 to 1945 because he was off serving in the military.
How dare he?
He's an American. He was 23rd in MVP voting in 1940. He had a negative 1.1 WAR, and he was 23rd in MVP voting. He had a slash line of 252, 301, and 315, and he finished 23rd in MVP voting. But he last played for the White Sox in 1948 before going to Cleveland. And he didn't return until 1955 after being with Baltimore and Cleveland from 48 to 55. 2,553 days between Bob Kennedy's at-bat in 1948 and his next at-bat in 1955. He played until he was 36, played until 1957, and he's a White Sox legend. In 699 games, Bob Kennedy put up a WAR of negative 3.6. So thanks, Bob, for your contributions. Then third place. This one I kind of knew. I was thinking in my head when I was looking back at these teams, and I was getting further and further through the 90s, through Don Slott, who I gave a shout out to, whose nickname is stupidly Sluggo. Don Slott. Come on. Like, we could just work in his name as the nickname. Anyways, I knew there was a player that wore Batterman, red, white, and blue, SOX, and then came back and had the black and white pinstripes, and it was Harold Baines. And I just could not think of Harold Baines in the moment. I believe Mike Jones, the prep high school writer, gave me the shout out. I don't think it's Mike Jones, though. I think it's Mike Clark. But 2,441 days in between Harold Baines' appearance, I believe, in 1987 until 1996.
And it was awesome, by the way.
Was
I
it?
was a young kid when that happened. Yeah, because you were growing up. All of your uncles, your dad would tell you this great player, Harold Baines. He went on, had a great career with Baltimore for a couple of years. And then when they got him back in 96 and the Sox were competitive, it was just really cool to see. And he played well, if I remember correctly.
All right. What are you guys doing? Are you guys not on Twitter? Katie Morrison, O'Day, 20 minutes ago. Chase Mydroth is getting called up to the Chicago White Sox. We're hearing in the Woo Sox clubhouse. James Beacon can confirm White Sox will need to clear another 40-man spot. It's happening! Chase Mydroth is going to be a White Sox. Why have I not talked about this in 20 minutes? I thought you guys were my friends. Come on. Jim, I know you're on Twitter. You're in the other office right over there. You're on Twitter. How are you not letting me know that Chase Mydroth is now a White Sox? Oh, mercy. Woohoo! All right. We got the Chicago White Sox calling up Chase Mydroth. What's going to happen? Honestly, I think it's Lenyn Sosa getting canned. Everyone loves Lenyn Sosa, but I think it's time to say goodbye to Lenyn. The death knell actually happened in this game. It was, let me find my notes. My notes are here. Here it is. No, it isn't. Okay, where's the Sosa misplay? Sosa tried to get out of the inning. He was trying to turn a double play, and before picking up the ball hit his shin, and it didn't hit his glove. He couldn't pick it up. He couldn't throw the ball to second. He couldn't throw the ball to first, and he couldn't get anybody out. I think it's likely going to be Lenyn Sosa. He hit that one home run, but mostly he's been unplayable. It's either going to be Amaya or Mydroth. I don't think they want to put Lenyn Sosa at shortstop. I don't think they want to put Chase Mydroth at shortstop. So I believe that it will be Sosa getting the boot. And I think that Chase Mydroth is going to be your everyday second baseman. I think it should have happened to start opening day, and I still wonder if they can compete for that bonus draft pick if he finishes top 3 in Rookie of the Year, because I know that he needs to be called up at a certain date or a certain threshold, so I will try to look up that threshold, but this is the right decision. He should have started on opening day. For the Chicago White Sox, he should have been here at the start when Josh Rojas was on the IL with his fractured big toe. Took a little bit, took him needing a 500 on-base percentage in Charlotte and 3 home runs to get called up. But here we go. We finally get Chase Mydroth on the Chicago White Sox, something that should have happened at the start of the year. He was the 3rd piece in that Garrett Crochet trade, and now we get to see Chase Mydroth versus Garrett Crochet. Woohoo!
Yeah, welcome to big leagues, kid. We're if you could take a guess right now, obviously they're probably going to move him around, but in his major league start, where do you think you see him in the lineup? Protect him in the back half. Eventually, they do want him to be
work his way up. Mydroth will have to work his way up. So I mean, Sosa's batting around 7th or 8th. So yeah, I think he'll probably be above Amaya, because everyone should be above Amaya. So Amaya should probably bat 9th, and then Mydroth at 8th, and then work his way up. But I mean, honestly, again, here's one thing that is going to need to happen. There's PPI picks now, and Gunnar Henderson and Corbin Carroll were able to win their teams these PPI picks, their prospect promotion incentives. They are trying to increase the ability for these young players to get called up, and when they get called up, both the player and the team is rewarded. This is just from MLB.com. In short, an MLB club can earn a draft pick after the first round if a PPI-eligible player accrues 1 year of service time as a rookie and then factors into a major award. Oh, a major award? It must be a bowling alley. That means he either has to win his league's Rookie of the Year or place in the top 3 in MVP or Cy Young voting prior to qualifying for arbitration. So, Chase Mydroth Rookie of the Year? Like, that's going to need to happen for them to get this PPI, but it's a possibility. The one thing that needs to happen, 1 year of service requires 172 days on an active roster, which means players with little or no MLB service time, which Mydroth has none, need to break camp with the team or be called up within 2 weeks of opening day. So I believe opening day took place on a Thursday. So I think this might have been the last day that they could have called him up. So just barely getting him in under the nose. Then they must spend all or most of the year in the big leagues. Then they must either win the league's Rookie of the Year award or place in the top 3 for MVP or Cy Young. Players who made an opening day roster and accrued serving time but didn't factor in any of the awards that year retain PPI eligibility. They need to place in the top 3 for MVP or Cy Young before hitting arbitration. And that typically allows for a 3-year window. So if Mydroth somehow does become a Dustin Pedroia-like character and in the next 2 years wins an MVP, the White Sox will get a bonus pick. But in reality, the one thing that could happen is if he plays well enough in these games, in these next 152 games, he could possibly get the White Sox a pick just outside of the first round if he gets them, if he plays well enough. So, woohoo! We'll see. I don't know. I'm excited. Chase Mydroth deserves it, and I'm excited to see what he can do. If he can just come up here and give them some hellacious at-bats, put the ball in play, and have an on-base percentage above 350, because, boy, we need one hitter that has an above-average or on-base percentage that is above 350 on this team. So, Mydroth, 2 thumbs up. Thankfully, Getz did this a little too late, but finally it was done.
I produced a show with you on Tuesday. You posed the question, who is the one person in the offensive lineup that we were looking forward to watching? You know, we had Luis Robert on that list, Benintendi's on the IL. Chase Meidroth.
Yeah, hey, now you get
We
to
got
root for
one.
Chase Meidroth.
We got one, baby.
We got one. Let's go. Yeah, get excited for Chase Meidroth. He should be here on Friday. We got a post-game show on Sunday. Hopefully that is recapping Garrett Crochet's revenge start against the Chicago White Sox. Make sure you're subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel and make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button if you're hanging out and watching with us. This show has been presented by Bet365. Use code CHGO365 when you download the app. You get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, even if that bet wins or loses. For Joey Christopoulos, my producer, I'm Sean Anderson. We will talk to you on Sunday. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.